write the question once. That is, if 1 omega squared up to omega power n minus 1 are the nth roots of unity, right? Then find the value of nine minus omega squared up to 9 minus omega to the n minus 1. So we know that the roots are given by omega to the n minus 1. All these values starting from 1 omega square up to omega to the n minus 1, they are the nth roots of unity, right? So omegas, all the values we know now, they are the roots of nth roots of unity. So we'll start like this. So the problem, we begin like this. Let's assume that let x is equal to 1 to the power 1 by n. Alright, so this means that I can take n to the other side, that is x to the n becomes equal to 1, right? This also implies x to the n minus 1 equals to 0. We already know something, right? We have used one of the standard equation that we have considered in the previous class. Let me write that. So if you know this, that is x to the n minus 1 can be substituted as x minus 1 x minus omega into x minus omega square up to x minus omega to the power n minus 1, right? We know that we can put this, right? This is a standard representation, right, for any n x to the n minus 1 using nth roots of unity. We can use that and we can write it in this fashion. So that means now my idea is that I can rewrite this as, we can put x equal to 9 to get what we want. Okay, let us put, so that means 9 to the n minus 1 is equal to 9 minus 1 into 9 minus omega into 9 minus omega square up to 9 minus omega to the n minus 1. Okay, so that means let us try to retain only this on one side, because this is what they have asked. Find this value. This is the question, right? So now let's do one thing. This implies when I want 9 minus omega square up to 9 minus omega to the n minus 1. If you want to calculate this, bring this 9 minus 1, which is 8, to the other side. And it goes to the denominator. In the numerator, you have 9 to the n minus 1 divided by 8. So this is the required answer. Right? Very short answer. Just remember that there is one equation. This is our fundamental equation that we are going to use in this problem. Alright. So again, in some of the old papers, we can see slight modifications to this problem, and maybe we can use that as a note. So far we understood that instead of 9, if I keep x as it is, we can rewrite this as x to the n minus 1 divided by x minus 1. So that's what is this? X to the power n minus 1 by x minus 1. This is nothing but, this has to be equal to 9 minus omega square. We can rewrite this as x minus omega itself. X minus omega square dot up to x minus omega to the n minus 1. Okay, so we actually this was a question in a paper. So that is, if we apply limits, that is limit x tends to 1, the left hand side is x to the n minus 1 divided by x minus 1, right? This has to be equal to, you apply limit on both sides, so limit x tends to 1 of this whole function, that is x minus omega square dot up to x minus omega to the n minus 1. So there is one standard, this is a standard function in limits. Okay, limits ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಮ್ಮ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್, application of limits, it has been covered? Okay, so if it is covered, you know that this is nothing but n itself, right? Limit x tends to 1, x to the n minus 1 by x minus 1 is n. N is equal to, put x as 1 on the right hand side, this becomes 1 minus omega square dot up to 1 minus omega to the n minus 1. Okay, 1 minus omega, this is equal to n. So you can see yesterday we have written one equation, right? That is 1 minus alpha square, 1 minus alpha to the n minus 1. So that equation we had written in the previous class, and you know that its value comes to be equal to n. So this is how we prove that. If the proof is required, we can simply write like this. Okay, so this was the other question. If 1 omega square dot up to omega to the n minus 1 are the nth roots of unity, then find the values of 1 minus omega square dot up to 1 minus omega to the n minus 1. So out of the 4 answers, you had one answer as n, which is the right answer. Okay, alright. Then let's move on to the next question. If A is equal to cos of 2 pi by 7 plus I times sine of 2 pi by 7 and I is equal to root of minus 1. Right, find the quadratic equation with roots. Alpha is equal to a plus a square plus a to the 4 and beta is equal to alpha a cube plus a to the 5 plus a to the 6. So here the value of a is given, and what they are asking is find a quadratic equation, right, such a way that the a and b alpha and beta are the roots of a quadratic equation. What equation is that? Such a way that, right, alpha and beta should be roots of that equation, plus alpha is given alpha and beta both are given in terms of the a value which is given over. Okay, now let's look at the solution. Now a is given, so let's start from a. A A is equal to, this is cos of 2 pi by 7 plus I times sine of 2 pi by 7. Okay, so this means, right, I can see, compare it with yesterday's equation, compare it with the cos of 2 pi by n plus I sine of 2 pi by n, right? So this means the n is equal to 7. Comparing both, I can identify that n value looks like 7 for us in this case. So n is 7 means if I raise a to the power 7, right, this is going to be 1, right? So this implies I'll raise it. So a to the power 7. A to the 7 is cos of 2 pi by 7 plus I sine 2 pi by 7 whole raised to the power 7, right? So that makes sense that cos of 2 pi by 7 into 7, correct? Plus this is I times sine of 2 pi by 7 into 7. So 7 cancels. So cos 2 pi is cos 0, which is 1, plus I times sine of 2 pi is 0, right? So this is equal to 1. So this actually refers to, this implies if you want to find a, this is 1 raised to the power 1 by 7. Because a to the 7 is 1 means what? A is equal to 1 raised to the power 1 by 7. So 7th root of unity are what we are talking about now in terms of a. Right. If this is the case, right, if a is actually written as 1 raised to the power 1 by 7, this implies what are the roots? 1, comma a square, a cube, a to the 4, a to the 5, and up to a to the 6. You see, a to the 6 is a to the n minus 1, right? So they are the 7th roots of unity. And I also know one more thing, right? What is that? I know another feature of the nth roots of unity. Whenever you take the sum of these 7 roots, what you should get? What is the answer? So sum of nth roots of unity is equal to 0, right? Yesterday's concept. So I simply add, therefore 1 plus a square plus a cube plus a to the 4 plus a to the 5 plus a to the 6 should be equal to 0. Out of which, let's separate the terms. So we what already has been given is the a square and a to the 4, thus that sum is alpha. Okay, a square and a to the power 4. So that corresponds to a square, a to the 4. At the same time, they also have mentioned that a to the 3, a to the 5 and a to the 6 are beta. So that means I'm talking about a to the 3, a to the 5, a to the 6, that is beta. So there is alpha as well as beta present in this, right? So I can simply write this as, this is 1 plus alpha plus beta is equal to what? Minus 1. So implies, what is alpha plus beta? This implies alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1. Not minus 1, right hand side is 0, sorry, my mistake. Please correct this. This is 0, but when I move minus 1 to the other side, when I move the plus 1 to the other side, I am going to get the minus 1. Alright, so okay, so we got a sum. Now let us take the let's calculate the product. Let's calculate the product, because if you know the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, you can write the quadratic equation straightforward. That's what is our concept here. So first you find alpha plus beta, then you find alpha into beta, right? So now to find alpha beta, right? What is alpha beta? Alpha beta means this is a plus a square plus this is a to the 4 into, this is a cube plus a to the 5 plus a to the 6. So now let us try to multiply, right? So this means this is equal to a into a cube is a to the 4 plus, next I'm going to get a to the 6 plus a to the 7 plus a to the 5 plus, once again, a to the 7 plus a to the 8 plus a to the 7 plus a to the 9 plus a to the 10. Okay, and I know something that if I write a to the 7, that is directly equal to 1, because a is written as 7th root, right, of unity. Raise it 7 times so that you get the answer as 1. So I am going to replace it in this fashion. So this is equal to now a to the 4 plus a to the 6 plus 1 plus a to the 5 plus 1 plus a to the 8 plus 1 plus a to the 9 plus a to the 10. Right, wherever possible you try to extract the a to the 7 and replace it as 1. So I already have 3 with me. Okay. So this is equal to, let's write a to the 4 plus a to the 6 plus okay, we have 1, 2, okay, this is 1. There is 1 plus 1 plus 1, so we have 3 plus a to the 5 plus a to the 8. I can write it as a to the 7 into a. Okay, a to the 8. Then a to the 9 is a to the 7 into a square plus a to the 10 is a to the 7 into a cube. Why? Because a to the 7 is 1. I can replace it as 1. Alright, next. So this is equal to, I have it 3 plus, I think we have a plus a square plus a cube plus a4 plus a5 plus a to the 6. Okay, we know something. If I write a this whole term, right, you can see that if I have the sum of 1 till a to the 6, that is equal to 0. That means if you just want a to the 6, the 1 goes to other side and the answer is minus 1. Correct? So that means, see, there is 3 already. I'll write that this is equal to 3 plus a square, a cube, a to the 4 up to a to the 6 is nothing but minus 1. So this is 3 plus minus 1. So the answer alpha into beta is equal to 2. So we found this. See, we already have found alpha plus beta equals to minus 1. So if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, quadratic equation which we are looking for, and we know that sum of the roots is minus 1 and product of the roots is 2. So if you know such characteristics of the roots, then therefore the quadratic equation can be directly written in the following fashion. So that is given by x square minus, say this is alpha plus beta times x plus alpha beta equals to 0. So replace the values x square minus alpha plus beta is minus 1 times x plus alpha into beta is 2 equals to 0. So therefore my final answer, required answer is x square plus x plus 2 equal to 0 is the required quadratic equation. Let's move on to the next question then. The next question is find the value of the following, that is summation k varying from 1 to 10. This is sine of 2 pi k by 11 minus I times cos of 2 pi k by 11. Okay, where I is equal to root of minus 1. Okay, so fine. So let us start from this, what they have asked, that is equal to 1 to 10, the sum of first 10 terms, 1 in the 10th ank. That's what they are asking, but I have a problem with this equation, that we know that if I try to write the sum starting from 0 to 10, I have a standard answer. Okay, so first point only 0 baro. I want to start from 0 here. That's my first point. And the second point is that in our standard equation, you can see that there cannot be a minus I inside. This has to be a plus I. Okay, so this has to be a plus I. And I also know that cos real irutte, sin imaginary irutte, because I has to come here. I into sin. Right? So see, these are the differences. Idishtanu nanu hegadru madi rectify ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ definitely I have a straightforward answer to this question. Right? So that itself is what is the those are the steps to be followed in this case. So let's start from the first case. I will take the minus I outside. ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ minus I ಬೇಡ. Okay, I don't want a minus I, so I will take the minus I outside. So this is minus I into, now you write the summation k is equal to 1 to 10. When minus I goes outside, cos real agutte, so cos comes first. So cos of 2 pi k divided by 11. This is fine. And when minus I goes out, you are going to divide by minus I to sine function. So sine of 2 pi k by 11 whole divided by minus I. But I know the property that 1 by minus I is plus I. Right? So this is plus I into sine of 2 pi k divided by 11. Okay, I got this. Now this is what is in the required format. Nange bekagiro format bantu, but still I don't have, right, the summations starting from 0 to 10. So k equal to 0 ennadanna nane add martini matte nanu tegitini, because adding and removing will not make any difference. So this is equal to minus I as it is into summation k is equal to 1 to 10, right? You write it as cos of 2 pi k by 11 plus I times sine of 2 pi k by 11. This is my summation. ಇದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಮತ್ತು ಮೈನಸ್ 1 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಕೆ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಕಾಸ್ 0 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಸೈನ್ 0 ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆ 0 ನಾನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್, ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಎ 1 ಟು ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಸ್ 0 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಸೈನ್ 0 ಈಸ್ 1. ನಾನು 1 ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. But 1 is not there, which means I have to remove the 1. That's why you can see here I am removing that minus 1. So whatever 1 you added, you subtract. Alright, so now this is pretty much straightforward. I can write this as, therefore this is minus I into summation. Now you see k is equal to 0 to 10. Now this is the required format. K 0 ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. So now I am trying to bring that. This is cos of 2 pi k by 11 plus I into sine of 2 pi k by 11. So you see what we did, we included this plus 1 by making k equal to 0. So ಈ 1 ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ minus 1 ಇರೋದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So that means this is minus 1. Okay, just understand this process. What are the changes? K1 irodu K0 agutte because this 1 is actually included in this. So only the minus 1 comes here. Alright, then now we have an answer. So the answer says if k is equal to k equal to 0 to 10, you do this calculation. What is the answer? The sum is 0, correct? So summation k is equal to 0 to n minus 1. n is 11 here, so n minus 1 is 10. So this summation cos plus I sine this is 0. That already nan gottide. Okay, so 0 and the next part is minus 1. So your answer should look like this. This is minus I into ಈ summation 0 ಆಯಿತು, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು minus 1 ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. So minus 1 into minus I is plus I is the required answer. Let's go to the next question. So let's say let alpha naught, alpha 1, alpha 2, dot up to alpha n minus 1 are nth roots of unity. Then find summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha I divided by 2 minus alpha I. So we'll start with the standard equation, that is, we know that x to the n minus 1 is nothing but x minus, you can call a idre a anta baribodu 1 omega adenu kottidaro adanna barita hodre aitu. So in this case it is alpha naught, okay, x minus alpha 1 dot up to x minus alpha n minus 1, right? So we can see that this is nothing but this is a product, right? So I can write this is product of, idu notation baribeku antilla, but this I am showing. So I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, this is x minus alpha I. So x minus alpha 0 into x minus alpha 1. ಈ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ I use this notation. Okay, so we already know that if I write like this, that corresponds to a summation, plus 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 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. But this is a product. Alright, okay, let's hold on to this. Now, in order to solve this in an easier fashion, I prefer taking log on both sides. Illade kuda madakagutte, even if you don't take log, no issues, you will get an answer. But that's slightly longer, it takes more time. So just to compress that, we are going to take log on both sides. Okay, so log both sides of equation, we are going to get like this. That is log of x to the n minus 1, that is on the left hand side, should be equal to summation on see, product becomes sum when you take log, right? So that is log of AB is log A plus log B, correct? So this means ಈ product iddirodu, see, product is AB, product becomes sum, right? So there is a sum coming up. So since you are going to get a sum, I am going to replace the product symbol by sum symbol. Sum, that is I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. This is log of x minus alpha I. Alright, this is one step, and second step is to go for a differentiation. Idu kuda namma ತುಂಬ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಬೇಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್. ಸೊ differentiating both sides, right? So differentiation ಈಗಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Okay, so but as of now just remember this step. So x to the n will become n into x to the power n minus 1 divided by log ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದೇ ಟರ್ಮು ವಾಪಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, x to the n minus 1. This is the left hand side, and the right hand side is the same summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. Log anta bandirodrinda this is 1 divided by x minus alpha I. Okay, now we are very close to the answer. Put the required x. So put x equal to 2, because in the equation you can see in the asked question it is alpha I divided by 2 minus alpha I. So 2 minus alpha il barutte provided you put x equal to 2. Okay, so I put x equal to 2, so this means, this implies left hand side n ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ n ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, x ಮಾತ್ರ 2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this is 2 to the n minus 1 divided by this is 2 to the n minus 1 should be equal to, this is summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, 1 divided by 2 minus alpha I. Okay, fine. Now I want to write the summation I 0 to n minus 1 alpha I divided by 2 minus alpha I. ಇದು ನನಗೆ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಬರ್ಬೇಕು. So I don't have alpha I by 2 minus alpha I simply have the term, right, 1 divided by 2 minus alpha. Okay, so what can we do? We can do like this, but let's hold on to this. This is equation number 1. Okay, but let's say we want to write this summation, that is I is equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha I divided by 2 minus alpha I, right? This is nothing but, now you see, I'll try to write this as, right, let's try to write this alpha I by 2 minus alpha I is nothing but, can I write it like, this is 2 minus alpha I minus 2 plus 2. Okay, let's do one thing. ನನಗೆ ಈ ಟರ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. So what I will do now, I'll write this as summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. I'll write alpha I add 2 and I subtract 2, whole divided by 2 minus alpha I. You see, you added 2 and you subtracted 2, so it makes no difference to the actual term. ನಾನು ಎರಡನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎರಡನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ no change, right? You are ultimately doing no change with the function. Okay, so I did like this. Now I'll try to do it in this way. So I can try to take a 2 minus alpha I already there, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So I can try to write this as summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. This is minus of 2 minus alpha I plus 2 whole divided by 2 minus alpha I. Okay, so what I am trying to do now is ಈ 2 ಮತ್ತು alpha ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆರಡನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಚೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. So minus has gone out, so there is a plus 2 minus alpha I. That's what is this, and ಈ 2 ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಥರ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. Okay, slight modification. This is because it makes things very easy for us. Okay, so this is equal to, let's move it further. ನಾನು ಈ equation ಇದು 1 ಅನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ. Okay, so that's why we are holding that. So this is nothing but summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So ಈ 2 minus alpha I actually cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ in the first term, only for the first term. When you cancel that, you are left out with a minus 1. Then the second term as it is. This is 2 divided by 2 minus alpha I. Okay, now this is equal to, we'll split the summation. So this is minus I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿ 1 ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ first term, plus another summation I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, the second term, right? The second term is 2 divided by 2 minus alpha I. ಇಲ್ಲಿ actually ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ modification ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, that is, you can, this 2 is a constant, you can write it outside, so that makes things very easy for us, plus 2 times 1 divided by this. Okay, now you see we already have an answer. That answer is for this. If you have summation I 0 to n minus 1, 1 divided by 2 minus alpha is nothing but this term. So that I can write now. So this is equal to, so summation of 1 plus 1 plus 1 n minus 1 times generates a n. So this summation is now, that is equal to n. Right? 1 1 1 1 add ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ, n number of times. If you add 1 n times, your answer is n. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 10 times, answer is 10. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 n times, answer is n. So you are writing that. That's my minus outside, so this is minus. So plus 2 times, write the remaining function. That is, this is already written, that is, I'm writing from equation 1. From 1 I am substituting. This part is equal to, you can see that this is n into 2 to the n minus 1 whole divided by 2 to the n minus 1. Alright, so simplifying this further, I can write this is minus n plus e2 anna e2 to the n minus 1 jodege club ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So that is 2 to the n. So n into 2 into 2 to the n minus 1 is actually 2 to the power n. Okay, so I am going to write this as n into 2 to the n whole divided by 2 to the n minus 1. So this is equal to, multiply 2 to the n minus, this is not 2 to the n minus 1, this is 2 to the n, minus 1 is not a power, so this is minus 1. Okay, denominatorly minus 1 calculated. Alright, so let's just verify. Yeah, you see, 2 to the n minus 1. Okay, so this means minus n multiplied with 2 to the n minus 1 plus n into 2 to the n whole divided by 2 to the n minus 1. So expansion gives you minus n into 2 to the n, minus n into minus 1 is plus n, plus n into 2 to the n whole divided by 2 to the n minus 1. So ಇದು cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ because they are opposite. I think this is the answer, right? So left hand side we still have this term, right? This is what is asked question. So we can say that the required answer is n divided by 2 to the n minus 1.